There's a fear many men carry silently, but almost never talk about openly. Not because the fear isn't real, but because most men were never taught how to explain it emotionally. So instead, they hide it behind strength, behind silence, work, pride, emotional distance. A lot of women date men every single day without even realizing that this fear are controlling the man in the relationship. Because men are not just afraid of heartbreaks, they are afraid of becoming emotionally exposed. And once you truly understand this fear, you'll understand why men pull away, why men struggle with vulnerability, why some men emotionally shut down, and why so many men suffer silently even being around people who love them. Because underneath the confidence many men show publicly, there's often a quiet fear saying, if I stop being strong, will people still respect me? That question emotionally controls more men than the society realizes. Because this conversation we're about to have goes much deeper than just relationships. This is about the emotional reality many men live with every day. 1. Men are taught to earn their value. One of the deepest emotional pressures a lot of men grow up with is the belief that love, respect, and value must be earned. Not freely given, earned. For real. From a young age, boys are taught something dangerous. Your usefulness matters more than your emotions. So many boys grew up learning how to solve problems. Don't cry, don't complain, handle it yourself, stay strong. I remember growing up, my dad was harder on me. He would tell me, hey, you're the man of the house. He would give me extra responsibilities. Do this, you gotta do this, you gotta know how to do this. And all of these things were ways to condition and help me understand my responsibility as a man. And over time, I realized that many men unconsciously build their identity around performance. It's all about what they can provide, what they can achieve, how useful they are to others. And that's why a lot of men don't want success emotionally. They need it logically, because success is tied to men's identity. And failure, that starts feeling personal. It's not just I failed, it's I'm a failure. Because sometimes what looks like ego is actually fear. This is where many women misunderstand men completely. Fear of becoming emotionally small. Fear of losing admiration. Fear of no longer feeling respected. Respect is not just something for men to have emotionally. It is tied to man's survival. And that pressure, it exhausts men quietly. 2. The fear of being seen as weak. A lot of men are not afraid of struggling. They are afraid of people seeing them struggle. Now that's the difference, because many men believe the moment they appear emotionally weak, people start looking at them differently. And whether society admits it or not, many men have experienced this personally. The moment a man loses his job or business or whatever he does to make money, people treat him differently. And as soon as he told you about losing his job or business, he knows how everything changed. So even when nobody says it directly to men, hey, people will lose respect for you. Hey, this is gonna happen. Hey, men see these things. And after a while, a lot of men train themselves to always hide weaknesses. That's why a lot of men disappear when life becomes hard. Some stop answering calls. Some stop texting. Some stop opening up. Not because they hate people, but because shame makes people hide themselves. And the truth is, a lot of men would rather die silently than publicly look broken. That's how deep the fear goes for men. 3. Why many men struggle with vulnerability. One of the biggest lies a lot of men hear today is men should open up more emotionally. Technically, that sounds healthy. It's the right thing to do. But the real problem is many men have tried vulnerability before. Some men opened up about painful moments and painful events in their lives and later felt judged, differently. Some cried in front of somebody they love. Some men shared their insecurities and later watched those insecurities become weapons in people's hands during arguments or misunderstandings. So after enough painful experiences like this, many men unconsciously learn these things. Emotional safety is risky. And the thing is, once a man starts associating vulnerability with humiliation, he slowly becomes emotionally guided. But because emotional protection becomes survival for him. And the truth is, a lot of men don't know how to separate love from emotional danger anymore. A lot of men communicate through silence instead of honesty, because silence feels safer. And social media has made this even worse. Now, private emotional moments don't stay private anymore. Everything becomes content. Screenshots, voice notes, embarrassing stories, relationship exposures. Now people laugh, people gossip, and create memes from real life pain. Meanwhile, a lot of men are watching all of these things happen to other men, and it registers something in their mind. Never let people see you weak. So now fear is shaping an entire generation of men. It's crazy, right? 4. Many men feel loved for what they provide. This is one of the saddest emotional truths a lot of men carry silently. A lot of men genuinely don't know if they are loved for who they are or what they provide. Think about that for a moment. A lot of men feel appreciated when they are strong, successful, helpful, financially stable, emotionally composed. But the moment they struggle, they start fearing rejection, but not always openly. So psychologically, this creates emotionally anxious men who feel pressure to always perform, produce, provide, lead. The truth is, a lot of men secretly feel that they cannot relax emotionally because they fear becoming a burden. That's why many men hide stress from women they love. Not because they don't trust their women, but because they fear becoming less attractive emotionally. And many women don't even realize men think about this internally, because a lot of men carry this silently. They never talk about it. 5. The emotional loneliness of men. One of the most misunderstood thing about men is loneliness. A lot of people assume that men don't need emotional connection deeply. That's not true. A lot of men are emotionally starving, but they were never taught how to express emotional needs. So instead, they suppress it. They distract themselves from thinking about it. They work more, stay busy, make jokes, act emotionally detached. Meanwhile, internally, they are exhausted. And the truth is, a lot of men haven't even felt emotionally safe in years. Not because nobody loves them, but because they feel they must always perform strength in front of everybody. Even in relationships, even around family, even around friends. Over time, that emotional isolation becomes heavy because everybody needs where they can emotionally fall apart without being judged. Everybody, even strong men. But a lot of men feel like the moment they stop performing strength, people become uncomfortable with them emotionally. So they continue carrying pain quietly. And eventually, many men stop knowing how to ask for help. 6. What many women don't see. Now listen, this conversation is not about blaming women. There are incredible women out there who genuinely create emotional space for men to be who they're supposed to be. Women who support men with love, understanding, patience, and emotional maturity. And honestly, those women have changed the life of men they've been with. But many women underestimate how deeply humiliation destroys men emotionally. For a lot of men, public embarrassment hurts more than heartbreak itself. Because heartbreak feels painful, but humiliation attacks man's identity. And once a man feels emotionally reduced, it can affect his identity, his personality. It can affect his confidence for years. That's why a lot of men obsess about appearing emotionally composed. It's protection, not always pride. Because a lot of men are terrified looking emotionally helpless or weak. So a lot of male behavior will stop making sense once you understand that fear. The emotional withdrawal, the silence, defensiveness, the pressure to succeed, the fear of dependency, fear of vulnerability. Underneath all of it is often fear. Not hatred, not negativity, not emotional emptiness. Fear. 7. What men actually need. Listen, at the end of the day, most men do not need perfection. Most men need emotional safety. A space where they can struggle without shame. A space where vulnerability doesn't become humiliation. A space where they don't feel constantly evaluated based on performance. Healthy masculinity is not pretending to be emotionally invincible, being able to feel human without feeling weak. And the truth is, a man who feels emotionally safe becomes a different person. He relaxes emotionally, communicates more sincerely and effectively, loves more openly, carries less emotional anger, and feels less defensive. And until more men feel safe enough to express pain, a lot of men will continue hiding behind silence. Not because they don't feel deeply, but because they fear what happens when people see those feelings. Finally, the fear most men never admit. The fear most men never admit is simply failure. So many men spend their whole lives trying to appear emotionally strong. It's the fear that if people really truly see their struggle, they may lose respect, admiration, or even lose love completely. So many men spend their whole lives trying to appear emotionally strong while quietly carrying battles nobody sees. The truth is that silent emotional pressure is exhausting. Know this, behind many emotionally distant men is often a man who never felt safe enough to fully fall apart. And maybe that's the deeper conversation society needs to start having. Not whether men feel emotions, but whether men feel safe expressing those emotions honestly. Now, if this conversation spoke to you, drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend you think might need it. I'll see you in the next one.